Well, good afternoon. How are you all? Welcome to Prepping for Prosperity. I'm Steve Smith. I hope you all are having a good day. I don't usually do, or I didn't intend to do a video this afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon. The kids are home. They're beginning their spring break. Kelly's upstairs scraping wallpaper off one of the bathroom walls, so we're redoing that. And I was down here writing. But I had some good questions because of this SVB collapse that occurred yesterday, the Silicon Valley Bank. First thing this morning, I had a friend call me with a question, and then I looked on here and I've got several great questions from subscribers to the channel, and I thought I will take just a minute and answer those. You're all familiar with what's happening with SVB, that's Silicon Valley Bank. They were a bank that specialized in lending to tech startups, so they're kind of specialized. However, one of the problems is, and this is the problem in the banking system, I'm going to get y'all's questions in just a second, is that too often the banks don't keep the required reserves that are required by the regulators, and then they can get in trouble. The second thing is that people too often will leave more in their accounts than is covered by FDIC. Bad idea, horrible idea, don't ever do that. So I was going through, oh, by the way, welcome to everybody. We just had a slew of people join just in the last day or so, and a whole bunch more over on the Patreon channel. I just put up a couple of things on the Patreon channel you guys are going to want to see. If you're not with us there, you should be. You would want to be. It's $5 a month, but I put so much more stuff over there that's going to help you really understand, become more educated in finances and economics as it applies to you. It's not all that dry. It's not boring, because when you're talking about money, your money, which is your security and your prosperity and your preparedness, it should be very interesting to you. One of the things that I put up there was an interview. It's a CNN interview. You're right. With a woman who just barely got her money out of SVB in time. And I think it's something very good to watch. It shows you, man, when it looks like your bank is about to collapse, you know, what do you do and how does it feel? Whoops, just a second here. Where do we go here? Hang on un momento. Okay, there we go. I thought I'd lost all those questions on my laptop. Wow, I can imagine what a horrible feeling that is. That's a very good, it's a very short interview with this woman, but it's very good. The other thing is there's this new program the feds are coming out with called FedNow. It's going to be a digital, you know, on time or you know, right now, money transfer system. This is the next step towards a federally controlled, a centrally controlled digital currency. Very concerning. It's something that you should keep your eye on and stay ahead of. I don't know how quickly it's going to happen, but as so often happens, these things seem like they're coming, you know, like the old question, and I forget right off who said this. Somebody says, how did you go broke? And the answer was, at first slowly, and then all of a sudden. These things seem like they're starting slowly, and all of a sudden there you are, and there it is to deal with it. So anyway, those are over on the Patreon channel. The link is down below. If you're not with us, it's going to be well worth your money to come over there and be a part of it. And also, it is really the preferred place to ask questions. I get so busy on other things that sometimes I won't see questions or all the questions on the YouTube channels. But the Patreon channels, I check, and then I will answer those. I'm glad that I caught these on the YouTube today because they're great questions. The first one that I jotted down because it was a friend of mine called me this morning. By the way, have you all seen the new Stonemont notebook? I talked about that on the other one. It's cool. I won't spend time talking about that right now. But here, Kelly up there scraping the wallpaper. But it's neat. It's a free gift for people who buy my complete set of books. So anyway, And he asked, essentially, boy, she's working hard, isn't she? He says, how much money should I leave in the bank? Okay, and how much should I take out? Very simple question. I'm not a big believer in leaving a lot of money in a bank. I can't get to it. You can say, well, you can drive to the ATM. Well, I mean, I got to go out and drive. What if the ATM's down? What if they have been hit with a cyber attack? What if, as these things happen, did you hear with Wells Fargo Bank yesterday? A lot of people weren't seeing their deposits show up. They say it was just a glitch. Who knows? We don't know. When something is beyond your control, you don't know. I like things in my control. I'm a big believer in keeping cash, stacking cash. So my answer to him was, I don't suggest leaving any more in the bank than you need to pay your bills when you pay your bills electronically, which most of us do. And I'm not against that. It is one of those conveniences that I know people can argue against. If it's not for you, then don't do it. I do it. It's just easy. I'm busy. I get it, but I just can't run a bunch of $20 bills, over to this person, that person, that person, that person, and the gas service and all. Don't have time. Most of the time, it's no problem. So I say leave enough in your bank account to pay your bills for the month. Okay. And I know a lot of people have direct deposit. So what I would say is, you look at the deposit and you say, okay, I need X amount in the bank to be able to do that. I'm pulling all the rest of it out. Leave a little cushion. It's kind of like a stealth savings. But pull the rest out. Have it handy. Have it in cash. I'm a big believer in having cash on hand. That's my answer there. We go now to Stank Williams Jr. I love that name. Stank is with us over on Integrative Preparedness, both on the YouTube and on the Patreon. And I'm sure that Hank would be very proud to know that a derivative of his name, we're using a little economics lingo there, a derivative of his name is being so well used by our very good subscriber here. So Stank says, hey Steve, good stuff. This was in response to my video of paying off debt. He says, hey Steve, good stuff. I've been going back and forth on whether or not to clean out our savings in order to pay off all our debt, mortgage and monthly expenses aside, or hang on to it in case we need a bunch of dollars at our disposal. I'll think about paying everything off because interest rates are going up. Then I think better hold on to it in case of an emergency. For your information, we have no issues servicing the debt every month. What do you think? First off, that's great that you have and servicing the debt, that simply means making the payments, okay? It depends. It depends on what type of debt we're talking about. If it's credit card debt, as a matter of fact, I was going to make one on this, which is kind of one of the reasons that I decided to answer these questions. I was going to make one on this either today or tomorrow. And that is, and it's kind of stepping on Dave Ramsey's toes here, where he says the first thing you do is get $1,000 emergency fund. No. The first thing you do is pay off credit cards, okay? Instead of keeping $1,000, pay off $1,000 off your credit cards. Don't worry, we'll get back to Stank's question in a second. Because what is that? What is cash? What is money? It's buying power, right? What is $1,000 open on a credit card? It's buying power, right? Both of them are $1,000 in buying power. However, if you just hold on to the cash like Ramsey tells you to do, you're still paying interest on the $1,000 that you haven't paid off on your credit card. See what I mean? If you pay $1,000 off that credit card, you're no longer paying interest on that $1,000, and you have that $1,000 of buying power. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, somebody ask me and I'll try to explain it better over on the Patreon side. Okay, so that's the thing. So here, in answer to Stank's question, yeah, interest rates are going up, but it shouldn't go up on any of the loans that you have outstanding now, unless it's unless you have an ARM or something. I don't know anybody that has that adjusted rate mortgage, or unless for some reason your interest rates are going to be fluctuating on any of your outstanding loans or debts. I don't know why that would be, but I would pay them off, especially if they're a credit card. Pay them off. Take that money and pay them off, because you're going to be, all of a sudden, you're going to be saving all that money that you have been paying on interest, okay? It's just like getting all of that money. It'll be like buying money almost, okay? So pay that off and stop paying the interest on those credit cards. If there are other things, I get it. I know there are a lot of other things that people, finance. It doesn't sound by Stanks here. He says doesn't have much except for mortgage. Whatever. If it's lower interest rates, if it's an auto loan and you got it at 4%, I'm not sure that I would pay that off. I'm not sure that I would pay that cash, because you're not freeing up any buying power, and a 4% interest rate, you're not paying that much, to be real honest. Okay, you're not paying that much, and I'm a big believer in having a nice chunk of cash right there, handy, in case you need it, and you could need it. So, Stank, I hope that answers your question. If not, let me know and I'll take another shot at it. Okay, the next one is, this is from MSB 9021. He says, I've hit these check marks. This is a credit score important? I made this the other day. I've hit these check marks. House and car are paid off. Great. Savings on the rise. Excellent. Looking to buy another house in a better area, always good, because not only are you going to be safer, but your appreciation is going to be better, right? You're going to start making more money on the investment of the house. Credit rating is over 820, excellent, but it actually drops by 16 points if I pay off one credit card I use. He says, I know that doesn't sound right, but it's true. It is true. It's only for a short period of time. If it's over 820, 16-point drop is not going to be an issue at all. It doesn't even matter. And over time, it's going to come right back up. So don't even worry about that. I keep a small balance just to keep the score at its highest. I think that's good. I think it's good to as I said the other day, periodically use your credit card. Just go to dinner. Okay, use a credit card instead of cash, and then pay it off at the end of the month. Put a couple of tanks of gas in your car and pay it off. Just to show. You want to keep showing a history of the good use of credit, right, and paying it off. So that's great. I think that's great, MSB. Let's get to the next one here. Roger Stemmen. Deepest thanks to you. We will keep listening and sharing. Oh, well, I didn't realize that was a compliment. I thought that maybe it was a question. But thank you. Thank you, Roger. I love having you here. That is very nice. Here we have one from Kentucky Prepper 1792. Kentucky Prepper is another one of ours from over on Integrative Preparedness. And he says, a quote from the movie WALL-E. I never saw that. I'm not a big movie watcher unless it's John Wayne. And so, but isn't that like some kind of tech movie or some kind of robot, or I'm not sure. But anyway, the quote is, I don't want to survive, I want to live. What a great quote. I say that all the time. I don't want to just survive. I want to live. I live a life. That's why we talk about prepping for prosperity. Prosperity is where you live, okay? Squeaking by, I don't see the attraction of squeaking by, and I'm sure you don't either. So that's a great one, Kentucky Prepper. Thanks for shooting that one in. Rogue Sovereign says, I've had great credit and really bad credit. Well, a lot of people have been in that situation. Now I don't care because I pay cash for everything and own what I have outright. Good. That is excellent. I do see the value of credit when building, however. That's exactly right. When you get to the point that you pretty much got it, you know, and you don't think, I'm not going to finance anything ever again, credit becomes really a non-issue. But it's when you're building. It's when you may need credit. And remember what I said. I don't care what Ramsey says, there is nothing wrong with credit. The problem is misused credit, which results in debt. Okay? Credit's good, debt's bad. Sometimes debt is necessary, but properly serviced it can help you as it builds a credit score, which allows you to get better rates when you go to get a mortgage on a house, or buy a car, or buy equipment, whatever. It's essentially showing the world, I can be trusted if you lend me your money. Okay, and sometimes it's just better to use other people's money. Okay. Kentucky Prepper again, he says, oh, this is a good one. For years, I would save all year for the Thanksgiving sales of especially canned goods. I do too. I don't necessarily save all year, but when they come, I look forward to those Thanksgiving sales every year. He says, it was a means of survival for my very lean years. Yes, no kidding. And everybody ought to do that. I talk about that in one of my very first videos for integrative preparedness, when I talked about how to build a long-term food storage. I said, don't buy these stupid mountain house and these overpriced, undertaste, freeze-dried stuff. Go to the store, buy the stuff down there. It lasts. Canned goods last forever. I don't care what they tell you. And they've brought out cans that they got out of river boats that sank 150 years ago, and they're still good, and our canning methods are better today than back then. So you bet. I mean, I love right before Thanksgiving, because corn is 29 cents a can. I don't know where it is in where you live, but around me, corn's 29 cents a can. Green beans are 29 cents a can. Chili beans are 39 cents a can. All sorts of stuff. I mean, we load up. And as you might imagine, I'm already in pretty good shape. But boy, when the Kentucky Prepper is exactly right. When Thanksgiving comes around, we go at it, because they've got the sales. And when everybody's saving, proud of being saving a couple of bucks because they bought 6 cans of something, I bought 300 cans. Okay, Sherry Fancoli. Sherry is the one that gave me the idea for this, and her notebook is right here. I'm going to give it another shot too. Her notebook that she put out, and she does hers. Oh gosh, Sherry, I'm so sorry. I forgot the first name, your nom de plume. The second name is Sheridan. And I can't remember, is it Sherry? No, it can't be Sherry. Sheridan. Anyway, she put the, I'll make up for it one of these days. She put this out, gave me the idea. I says, what a great idea. It was just a notebook. The people need these things all the time, And I give her a few ideas, and it's just beautiful. I just got Kelly one, because Kelly, when she first said it, says, can I have that? And I said, no, you can't have it. This is mine. I'll get you another one. So I asked Sherry when I said, that is a wonderful idea. Do you mind if I steal your idea? And she's very nice. I've met her, and she is so sweet. And she says, no, that's fine. Go ahead and steal it. So I did. So she's where I got the idea for the Stonemont Where Life is Good notebook. And since we're at the end, and this is just for any of you who want to hang around, I'll tell you a little bit about this. It's just like Sherry's, a place for you to put your lists and everything like that. On the front, I say Stonemont Where Life is Good notebook. And then down here at the bottom, I put one of my favorite scriptures. And it's Proverbs 16:3. And this goes so much into prosperity. Do it God's way, and you're going to be good. And it is, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts will be established. Now, King James uses words a little bit differently than we do, so I put down there in parentheses to make it a little clearer, commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. Now, that doesn't mean, Lord, please make me a millionaire, No, it means follow his direction, ask for his guidance, ask for his direction, and then do it to the best of your ability, and ask him to bless your efforts to the extent of his will. Okay, and you're not gonna get off track if you follow his will. And his will is always better than ours. On the back, I have a little explanation of what this is. And talk about Stonemont. I think most of you are probably started with us on Stonemont, but maybe there are a bunch here who really weren't with us there. It says, in Stonemont, for those of you who don't know, is my series of books. It's my series of books that I wrote. The sixth one just came out. And these are the complete plan for preparing for, surviving, and rebuilding after a complete collapse. Could be the collapse that's in here. It could be a financial collapse. It's the reversion, the revival, the renewal, an appeal to heaven, the blessings of freedom, and the one that just came out, hostages to fortune. This is the first one that's come out in hardback. But I'll be working on getting the rest of them out. So that's what it refers to in Stonemont. And even though this is on sale, I'll let you know right now, or it will be probably tomorrow or so for $9.99, I think, on Amazon. For people who order the whole set directly from me, and there's a way to do that. You can either get it from Amazon, or there's a way down there to get the books directly from me autographed. If you buy the complete set from me, I autograph them and I throw in this for free. I can't do this for free through Amazon. It's just not set up. So this is for people who actually, deal with me individually. And on the back, it says this: Stonemont is a world apart from the collapsing world surrounding it and the crumbling society that has devolved to the point where celebrity is valued over ability, corruption is tolerated while character is attacked, and death is promoted over life. At Stonemont, a literary, virtual, and real-world community, the foundations of faith, family, and friends supports the ideals on which our country was based, but from which it has strayed. Stonemonters, or those who have read all the books, or at least some of them and are keeping it up, share those values and find within the pages of the Stonemont series a world they prefer to the decadent and crumbling world around them. It is a world of personal responsibility, worship of God, dedication to family, contribution to community, compassion for and assistance to others, and a celebration of the human spirit. Use this notebook, it says. I say, because I wrote it. Use this notebook to record your thoughts, keep your lists, and make your plans as you build your own Stonemont and enjoy the freedom that comes from separating yourself from a world that is crumbling around you and live the life of self-determination God intended for you. And then down at the bottom, I also put, except the Lord build a house, they labor in vain that build it. As a matter of fact, I just wrote these lines in the new book, the seventh book. It won't be out for a few months. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh, but in vain. And I explain that in the book. Then down there I put, visit us at stonemont.us. That is the new website that will be up probably later this week. We will see. So there you have it. Thank you for all those who asked the questions. They were great questions. Keep your money close to home. It's a good question from Stank about whether to pay off, use savings to pay off debts or to keep at home. I hope I answered that. Any other questions that you all have? Like I say, I'd love to hear them. I might miss them if they come across the YouTube. I would suggest that if you're with us on Patreon, ask your questions on Patreon. And there's a way you can message me directly over there, so do that. And if you're not on Patreon, I hope you'll come over, because we're going into some really, really challenging times financially here. And while they can be challenging, they can also be times of great opportunity. And that's what I'm going to be talking about. Great opportunity. Bad times create opportunities for those who are smart and are ready. So with that, I wish you a good day. Have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you probably Monday. Bye-bye.